afternoon. I'm your host Deborah, and welcome to our DFT Film Showcase. After 2 years of hard work in DFT, each student will finally go through their industry film project, student internship, and major project. Our students, with their production knowledge and skills sharpened, will return to give everything they've got to shoot one last short film, spanning from 15 to 25 minutes in length. What you're about to watch is the hard work of our Year 3 cohort that have not only won awards, but also bear testimony to the talent, hard work, and passion put in by the filmmaking teams. Please enjoy the handiwork of our Year 3 cohort, crafted with blood, sweat, and tears.
命名后必有故，含义深深层层。若是故不争，若是名不俗，我名不争不俗。
也许依然还有爱，也许是慢慢生长的悲哀。让这黑夜静静静静落下，将你我来覆盖。在这黎明的过去已经过去，未来未必存在。让我们继续相信现在，都是在你广阔温暖的胸怀里，总是停下冷冷的叹息。你那不嫌说谎的眼睛，始终叫我自己回忆。
很会拖时间啊！欠钱还钱！
对，再给我一点时间。
你最好说的做的，任何之前的东西都可以。
老婆，我回来了。
我煮了你最爱吃的卤肉鸡，坐下吧。
孩子呢？我做好他的脚链了。
我去添饭。
他还在睡觉是吗？英，我们的孩子呢？我们的孩子呢？你说话啊！
我没有其他办法，我们都不够钱用，这是唯一可以倾债的办法。
什么欠债？你又跑去跟大龙借钱啊？你不是把我们的女儿卖了吧？啊？你疯了你！你真的把我女儿卖了！英，你欠多少次我帮你还多少次，现在你赌到连女儿都卖了，你真的无药可救你！欠多少钱？ 3000。
你去哪里？你去哪
还
里？
是赎回我们的女儿？3000万不要。
是2万。
什么？2万？
有位夫妇开出2万块的价钱买我们的宝宝，如果我们要拿回他的话，需要还2万块钱。老公啊，我们都不够钱养活我们2个，怎么养个宝宝呢？不如当我们有钱的时候，我们再生一个啊，是吗？
你说的对，我养活不了我们2个。
在做什么？不可以，不可以，不可以！不要，不要！
走，走，你走。
阿花，不要！
我养活不了我们2个。你走，走。
阿花开门啊！阿花开门啊！阿花，我不知道为什么会发神经，我真的不知道为什么会发神经。他进来的时候，我很怕，我很怕。阿花，我不可以没有你，你知道吗？我不可以没有你的，我不可以。
2万块，我一定会筹到的。
啊，化了，好久不见，来来，坐坐。
我的女儿呢？
喝杯茶。
不用，我要看我的女儿。
孩子，哎，孩子，别紧张，我们来聊聊啊，啊。
不要怕，我发财。不要怕，我发财。
英，他的伤势还好吧？帮我报个信。
还差5000块。
Wat, kalau kau nak apa-apa lagi, kau cakap dengan aku. Kau selamat kat sini.
Terima kasih, Bang.
Ni, susu aku dah panaskan. Wat, apa saya tak suruh dia susukan aja?
Dia penatlah.
Okeylah. Kau orang rehat aja kat sini. Aku pergi office dulu Hmm?
故事后必有爱，挣扎，重重叠叠。父亲手上的皱纹，战绩来源我不晓。想尽办法喂饱妈，保护我。自愿自食苦头，乞讨长羹剩饭。他从不表露疲倦，不是失望，笑容强暴。我希望虽不是，但笑容能吃。
你怎么了？
不要碰我！
你可以不要看到我，就好像看到蟑螂一样讨厌吗？
你就是我们家的蟑螂。你以为我没有发现，我这几个马上溜出去？
所以，你认为我去哪里了？
你会去哪里？你去赌啊！
我没有。
你不要再骗我了！这些年来，你满嘴都是谎言。你说不赌，结果跑去赌；你说没欠钱，结果每次欠一大笔债，你死心不改你。
你是我的老公，你知道为什么我开始赌吗？你有问过我吗？你没有尝试过了解过我。
所以，你去赌是有苦衷的，啊？你为什么有这样的老婆？你根本不会当个妈妈。
Ya Allah, apa hal ni? Ahwat. Kau okey tak? Ahwat. Kenapa tak suruh Ying susukan bayi tu je? Kau punya duit dah habis kan? Ni. Ying? Ini pun anak engkau tau. Mari, ambil anak kau. Pelan-pelan. Kau ambil lah berapa masa kau nak. Fuad, sejak aku belakangan ini, ada tak kau tanya khabar dia? Aku tahu dia banyak buat salah. Tapi kau pernah terfikir tak apa yang dia rasa bila dia buat tu semua? Atau bila suami dia sendiri tak nak dengan dia lagi? Kasihlah dia peluang.
今晚你休息吧，让我照顾孩子。
哦，我想，我们应该是时候帮孩子取个名字了。孩子呢？我做好他的表演了。
来，
我要来，5块，5块，5块，还有10块，10块。
来，
快点，来，我们来，哇，
快哟，又来呀！哇，妈呀！哎呀！
换一个。
你真的不要看救你！
你看你到底做了什么？你不是说好照顾他吗？为什么你半夜还跑出去？
他怎么了？
他怎么了？我真的很笨，我为什么会相信你有那么一点点的改变？我真的很后悔，我很后悔当初娶你当我的老婆，让她找到这样的一个妈妈。
你听我解释，你听我解释，你听我讲。
我害怕再赌没用。
好，继续跑，不要停，好。
去找 baby， 继续打他。 谢谢你的合作。
逐步这一个你。
我有5000，
哇，你好，
我这里有5000块。
父母手到安平，没料新加坡独立后，金融危机雪上加霜，路断人稀，公司倒闭，财源重重，如千万的人父，父亲不弃不舍，埋头苦干，人虽简单，但领悟夫道妇道。母亲一开始误入歧途，惹上毒瘾，但终究有所开窍，恋上魔道，并筹了赎款。命名后必有故，含义深深层层。若是故不真，若是名不熟，
谢谢你守护着我们的女儿。对不起。
我名虽不真不熟，但深为奥义。一诺千金，恩山义海，方名诺恩。这里，妈咪，谢谢你们。
等着黑夜轻轻轻轻落下，将你我来覆盖，等着黎明的安排。过去已经过去，未来未必存在，让我们继续相信现在。对你从来不改变，千种柔情说着一种语言。开花的笑颜，星光的乍现，是我羞涩散乱的思念。你也从来不改变，一种沉默说着千种亏欠。紧紧拥抱我，轻轻放开我，像放开无处安放的一卷。曾经我将无助的爱情紧紧枕在你的臂弯里，以为它将为我阻挡风雨，供我面对寂寞的潮汐。可是在你宽阔温暖的胸怀里，总是听到冷冷的叹息。你那不屑说谎的眼睛，始终叫我自己回避。也许已经不是爱，只是一种坚持的情怀。也许依然还有爱，也许是慢慢生长的悲哀。等着黑夜轻轻轻轻落下。
英，我们的孩子呢？
这是唯一可以清掉的办法。阿坏，不可以！
欠多少次我帮你还多少次，现在连狗蛋连女儿都卖了，我真的无药可救你。
孩子，我们来聊聊。
我为什么有这样的老婆？
你根本不会当个妈妈。
我们都不够亲人怎么能够打包呢
2万块，我一定会找。
好，继续吧。
This story was inspired by a story I heard. Yeah, so it's about a father who had to buy back his daughter. After buying back his daughter, getting back the daughter, right? He was still gracious enough to went out to look for the wife to take care of the family because he believed like the family is not complete without the mother lah. So when I heard this story, I was like deeply moved by his intentions and decided to pitch it to the lecturers. The difficulties that I experienced with the story is that, first of all, the era. I'm not born in the era. So coming up with relevant plot points in the era was difficult and it requires a lot of researching.
A lot of research went into finding the exact things that we needed for our shoot. The most difficult prop that we had to find was the payment voucher. We didn't know exactly how a payment voucher would look like in the 80s. So we had to actually ask people who loaned from the loan sharks and from their previous experiences, what did they get? And actually, the payment voucher is not supposed to be red, but because Eng Huat's house was very dull and of neutral color, so we had to get something that stood out, thus the red color.
The most difficult location that I had to find was the house. This whole story is set in 1980s, so I had to call HDB to ask like, oh, so which are the houses that are not renovated, which areas that we have to find. We even went to the extent of like giving out flyers and go door to door knocking from like east to west of Singapore. So we came across this house in Vid Hill that is very suitable. We went ahead with the owner and he's very open about it. But however, like he backed out like 2 weeks before our shoot, which caused quite a panic to me. So thankfully, through connection, I got a house at Circuit Road.
So basically, we tried to color code each of our characters. Like for example, Axiang was more of the reds and Ying was more of the greens, which represent that she's money-minded. For Eng Huat, it was neutral colors like the earthy tones because we want to show that he's a very normal and average kind of guy.
During wardrobe sourcing, I kept an eye out for where I could find my wardrobe lah. After exhausting like places like Kovan, Chinatown, Little India, we were hitting like this block lah as to where we could source for vintage stuff. And I asked the stylist where I could find them. So she mentioned that we could try the Salvation Army all the way in Woodlands. I was in Bukit Merah, but yeah. And then I went there and it turned out they renovated the place and there were only 3 racks of clothes there. It wasn't easy to find like vintage patterned clothes. I could only start sourcing when our cast was confirmed. So actually, generally, we did that last while I helped Ariel with the props first.
Okay, so during auditions, well, it was definitely quite a tedious process because we had quite a number of people coming in. Yeah, but ultimately, we managed to secure our main lead, male lead, which was Elvis Chin, and he is actually a Malaysian. So what happened there was one of our group members actually came across this short film that he was in. So I contacted him via Facebook and he thankfully was very willing to be on board this project. As for our female lead, it was quite a long process to try and find someone who was suitable. As I started getting desperate, I just like emailed a bunch of people, one of them being MediaCorp. So Fiona, which is Michelle's manager, said that, okay, hey, why not you audition her, see where it goes, see if you like her or not. And yeah, so that's what we did. We auditioned her and yeah, everything went well. We subsequently managed to secure her after quite some time talking and discussing the details with Fiona. For the character of Axiang, we actually got him through Sunny Pang's stunt team. So we were coordinating with Sunny Pang and his stunt troupe to help us choreograph our final fight scene, we actually went down to his workshop, and from there we saw that Jameson, he was very suitable to play this character, and we secured him while we were at the workshop.
One of the workflow is Dutch angle that I play with it throughout the film that you can see. Initially, the beginning stage of my Dutch angle is mainly on emphasizing on bad guys, Dutch tilted, so they are tilted, you get what I mean? Subsequently, after throughout the 10 days overnight shoot, it became very often Dutch left, Dutch right, Dutch left, Dutch right. It's just to create the frame, like to frame up nicely, because sometimes it feels like straight shot is too straight and doesn't have any emotion.
During the production itself, I think for me especially, I think which was the most difficult was the alley scene, because we had two situations that are happening in that scene lah. So basically, one of them was a group of people gambling, and then there's Eng Huat being chased down. So to actually light up both situations simultaneously, it was quite a challenge for me. But with the help of my friends and my group members, I think we actually pull it through together. There are actually few scenes that I actually enjoyed. One would be Asiang's gambling office, where I actually played with T5 tubes and also practicals. Why it's my favorite scene is because I actually get to build up the mood and feel of that scene from scratch.
The scene that I enjoy the most is actually the toilet scene itself, which is a big accomplishment without using any lights. I think our dreams, our inspiration has become bigger and bigger each day when we're trying to film this scene. But actually, to think twice again, you can use whatever practical source in the toilet itself to shoot a nice scene, and also feels like it's actually, it was lit well. Due to the time constraint and the way we shoot is actually like a feature style. Sadly to say, it was removed.
During production, there are some exciting incidents that we went through together. Like all of us have to endure 10 days of overnight shoot. So in order for us not to sleep on set, we make fun of each other. I think of like pasting tape on our producer eye to make her stay awake. So for post-production, I did a very rough edit at first, which I lay all the clips that is needed in, and because the whole rough edit was about 1 hour. A lot of scenes were cut, and some of the scenes that we really liked was also removed.
How I found the song Let the Night Gently Fall is, since our era is in the 1980s, I went to search songs that we can find based in Singapore. There's a song called Xin Yao, made by local Singaporeans themselves in the 1980s. So when I showed the director, Grace, she chose that song, that particular song, because she said it fits the whole film. The most enjoyable part of the whole process during production is actually the Foley's, because my boom operator, Jackson Ho, he was the one that helped me with Foley sounds like Ian gets choked at the wall, right? He would do the Foley for me, part where Eng Hua falls on the floor and struggling, and then he will he's willing to go to the floor and struggle for me. So yeah, that's the most fun part. Doing the Foley's, actually, recreating the sounds.
For the role of baby Grace, initially we had one baby, but we figured that we couldn't use her anymore because by the time we reached the point that we needed to use her, she was too grown up and we couldn't. So we found a new baby through Grace's contact.
Her friend just gave birth, and just nice during post-production, we can shoot the baby in the studio, which is a safer place for the baby.
For the pickup baby shoot, we cannot actually shoot that wide because we are shooting in this studio over here, and we cannot even shoot this close because we are filming it in a bigger cinema screen. So technically, we have to frame just nice in the middle range of the focal length, which is around 50, which reach until the size over here. So when we preview it, it actually looks pretty normal. The problem that we encounter is actually the green fluorescent tube from the location itself.
As we do not have the equipment that we actually rented out at the first place, we had to use the lights that are there for us, provided by the school. So it was a challenge as certain lightings are more harder to accomplish than the others, especially when there's a green theme, which I do not have the gel or the resource to do it. So that kind of lighting we actually have to improvise during post-production.
I would say it was a joy working with these bunch. They really taught me a lot on how to be professional on set.
I think I've been very lucky to be in this team of very experienced and very smart people.
Through this like 1 whole year that we've been through everything together, yeah, actually we bonded quite a lot and I learned quite a lot from them. It was a hard journey for everyone.
For post-production, even though there's like downside, I learned how to persevere and complete the stuff that I needed to do.
Okay, throughout this whole production, I enjoy myself as I get to do what I love most, which is to do lighting. To my group of members that I've been working with throughout the year, I wish them all the best and hope to also work with them soon in the industry.
I think I'm just very thankful for these other 8 group members. Yeah, because initially I didn't even believe in this story. But in the end, when I pitched this story to these 8 people, they were like, oh, actually, I can see it, Grace. And I think that really changed my mind. And then told the lecturers that we wanted to do this story. It wasn't I wanted to do a story, but it became we.
等着黑夜轻轻轻轻落下，将你我来覆盖，等着黎明的安排。过去已经过去，未来未必。
Alright, class. I know A-levels is around the corner, but don't worry, I'll be here with you every step of the way. And booking for consultations starts this Friday. For now, please make sure to check through your papers.
Only the 7.
妈，回来了。吃饱了吗？
吃了。
我留了点饭菜给你，等一下你饿了就自己弄上来吃。
晚安。
晚安。
放这里就可以了。拿着。进来吧。
哇 ，Uncle， 我好像没看过你的店呢。
我的店在这里已经很久了，只是你以前呢没有注意到罢了。博雅，时钟给我。
好。
你在哪间学校读书啊？
Horizon JC。
是吗？那里的学生啊，每天都来店里找我帮忙解决他们学校里的功课问题。
功课，Uncle， 你是补习老师啊？
不是啦。哎，不过呢，我有一个方法，可以让你考到好成绩。
什么样的方法？
你只要和我交换你最珍贵的东西， 奇迹呀、就会在你身上发生。
珍贵的东西。
你今天呐、竟然这么有心帮我，好，我就免费的帮你一次。那
this case, the support force is going to be M squared over. Why are you late?
Sorry, Cha.
Eh? Not bad, huh? What kind of new study trick you found?
Okay, please do your corrections based on this example. If you have any questions, I will come to you.
哇，这么用功啊！年底 A level 一定拿满分咯。
妈，杰西不像中学那么容易考到满分的。
我知道啦，不要温习的太晚啊，对身体不好，早点睡。
我有一个方法，可以让你考到好成绩。
Class, remember there are more tests next week. And don't forget that A level is only in 62 days.
回来了。
为什么这几天都这么迟回来？
这几天都有 training。
上星期你不是跟我说你的 training 已经完了吗？
哦，说错了，我是说 physics training。老师要我们加强训练，因为 A level 下来了。
要吃饭吗？
不要，
你要我留给你吗？
不要。Uncle， 你能给我 A 吗 ？Uncle， 我已经把所有的东西都给你了，为什么我还不是最好的？
你的东西还不够珍贵，
不够珍贵。我有这个，还有这个。
你要考到 A， 就必须要牺牲更多。
那我还能给你什么？
我要的 是你最珍贵的记忆，懂吗？
不是叫你早点回来吃饭哦，生日都不提早回来，过来吃。妈，这给你的。
这是什么？
孔子啊，希望他能够在你的 A-level 助你一臂之力。今天学校怎么样？
还好，
最近功课还好吧？
还好。
跟得上同学啊？
妈，你可以不再问了吗？我一整天在学校读书，回家就想好好的休息，难道就不行吗？
我只是关心你而已。
关心我？你连我喜欢什么不喜欢什么都不知道，这应该才算是关心我。
你每天早出晚归，连坐下来跟我吃顿饭的时间都没有，我怎么了解你？
因为我在学校很忙，难道你看不出我已经很努力了吗？
我知道你很努力啊，但是你要去哪里？
你管我去哪里？你什么都不懂，你只懂了逼我考到 A， 你不知道这些很难考到 A 了吗？
我几时逼你了？我要你考到 A 也是为了你好，因为我知道你能够做到啊。
妈，我不是你的学生，是你的儿子。
做你妈很难的。
我宁愿你不是我妈。Uncle， Uncle，
你终于想通了，进来吧。别担心，只要照着我的话去做，很快就会结束了。
你只要我的记忆而已，对吗？
对。 准备好了吗？
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jinwei. Happy birthday to you. 好了，可以打开眼睛了。
妈，我长大以后一定要买一间大房子给你。
我不需要什么大房子，只要你好好的用功读书，我就很开心了。不过呢，如果你可以买一间小一点的给我，也可以啦，好不好？好不好？
白日依山尽，黄河入海流。欲穷千里目，更上一层楼。
我跟你讲过多少次了，叫你不要乱跑。哟，痛吗？你要坚强一点，不要哭了，懂吗？记得每次跌倒了要懂得爬起来，知道吗？
不准碰你记忆里的人，不然你的大脑会损伤的。
哎，小心点，不要跑。
我这是想好好的学习的，但就不行了。
我只是关心你而已嘛。
关心我？你连我喜欢什么不喜欢什么都不知道，
只应该才说是关心我。
我要你考好，也是为了你好，因为我知道你能够做到啊。
我不是你的学生，是你的儿子。
做你妈很难。
那我宁愿你不是我妈。
俊伟，俊伟，俊伟，李俊伟！哦，
妈，
哥，二哥放我出去！
二哥，二哥，你听得到我吗？二哥，放我出去！
站起来再说吧。
求求你，放我出去！我不要失去这个亲人。
再说。
哇！
我只是要最尊贵的事，就是要做到。
妈，我长大以后一定要买一间大房子给你。
来，我们再来一次 ，OK？ 这么有功，你 A level 竟然满分了。
你不知道今天晚上考到 A 了吗？
什么学生？是你的儿子。
看看你妈有多开心啊！哼，看看你，
做的妈妈
可怜呐、只会依靠着你妈。
妈，你可以不要跟
再努力
好吗？
你都永远不会考得最好的。
你要坚强点，不要哭了，懂吗？
啊！
失去一切，
我再也不需要你。妈，对不起。
You may begin.
妈，这是我的成绩，你满意吗？
你自己呢？你自己满意吗？
我不知道，不过我已经很努力了。
你尽力了，你应该为自己感到开心才对啊。不要跟别人比，做好自己就好了。因为在妈眼里，你永远是最好的。
Alright, class. I know A levels is around the corner.
我有一个方法，可以让你考到好成绩。
什么样的方法？
你只要和我交换你最珍贵的东西，奇迹啊，就会在你身上发生。
浩哥，你听得到我吗？放我出去！
So in Japan, we went to a shop that is actually very like mysterious also, I would say. The shop was quite cool because it has a lot of vintage items. So I think that's one of the inspiration that we got for the film.
When we left the shop, I was just saying, damn, what if this dude is like a serial killer? Isn't it intriguing that every items that you see at thrift shop all has a underlying like story behind it?
When it comes to FYP, then we were supposed to write a script. Then I suddenly kind of thought of the shop, and then I thought of like what she said. Then of course, but we are not going for such dark direction. So I made it into something different because make it into like a dream shop that can help you achieve stuff. But because I want to be more specific with what the shopkeeper actually trades, then I decided on results because during that period of time, my friends, they were in JC and they say they were like really stressed out because of like expectation and results. It just feels like it's never enough. They can never have their own time. It's everything is just about studying. So that made me want to write something that's for the JC students.
So location scouting was, oh my god, it was so crazy because like we have to go to various locations, and the fact that I need to come up with a whole list and it's a specific list of where we're supposed to go instead of like a general thing. So we only got the finalized location like 3 weeks before shoot, and it's pretty crazy because all the locations were really far. One was in Jurong, which was the shop, and one was in like Bedok House, which was, yeah, it was like 2 ends. And I only got the location at the last minute, and it's like a miracle.
Location recce is quite fun, to be honest. I like location recce. It's quite fun. It's quite fun, quite stressful, but when you do it together as a team, it's quite fun. Going door to door.
The thrift shop is like something that is definitely not done before. Like we could find references in real life or in movies, but it's definitely uniquely Singaporean and unique to the film.
We have created a concept of the shop, which is like a thrift shop, also have full of unique stuffs and vintage stuff. So we have went around the whole Singapore to find a similar shop, and we have went to several locations such as Hock Siong Furniture, and then we went to Bukit Timah, the whole stretch of vintage shop.
I went to almost all the Converters branches in Singapore, so you can hit me up on what place has what. There was this
one carouseller who had an open house for their vintage items. So when I first went down to one of their locations, it was completely new experience for me because it was the first time that I saw someone's house be filled to the brim with antique items. So after telling my group mates about it, we actually went to their second location, which is at Jalan Bahagia, and we wanted this shop for our film. But in the end, we couldn't get it because of constraints. Casting was equally as crazy because we had to find like so many different actors and we have to audition like a lot. We got some help from Hello Group as well, which is like Marina's intern company. So they eased my difficulties by giving me like more talents, the people who got to audition. We get to see different kind of people and how they act and their personality. After we secured them, it was like this rock has been like shifted out of the way. Felt so light after that.
Lee Junwei is I think it's a boy with a lot of insecurities, and like insecurities that a lot of students have, like insecurities with their grades, feeling like they're not doing enough to beat their friends, not doing enough to meet their own expectations, meet their own mother's expectations, and just to have that kind of self-worth. It's the whole story just shows him trying to turn to something else to satisfy this insecurity.
For Junwei, I think the most difficult things to find was the things that I had to customize. One of them was his PE attire and Junwei's basketball jersey. It was actually quite a challenge to find a PE attire that I had to kind of find from scratch. So I found a shop that already had it in stock, which was a white dry fit shirt with like black details on the sleeves. And then I went to another t-shirt store that allowed me to print the Huan logo on top, which was designed by our dear Dina. At the start of the film, he's really tired, but he's working very hard for his test. He didn't get good grades. But the more he meets Huan, the more he gets influenced by Huan. He starts selling his things. The more he sells his things, the more his eye bags will show. So it gets darker and darker each time. That's I think one of the most important parts of Junwei's makeup.
As a teacher character for the mom, it kind of like explain why Junwei is like that, why he strives for the best, and why he might not be, why he's under so much stress. But we're not trying to put like shed a bad light on teacher, but we're trying to say that like sometimes as a teacher you might focus too much on the academics because that is what you are used to doing in school.
One of the reasons why we chose to make the mom the teacher is also because we wanted to emphasize more on Junwei's upbringing and how at different stage of his life he had different goals and his attitude was different towards his mom and things like that. The very idea that his mom is very strict but at the same time she's very nurturing is actually, I felt that it was relatable to a lot of parents out there, especially traditional parents.
我觉得素芳她是一个很传统的女性。首先她不是只是家庭主妇哦，那么她本身的职业是为教师教员，所以呢在家里就是整天就是有很多本子要要打分呐，这样子有很多工作，老师都是这样子，都是很忙的，对吗？然后回来了就接到孩子，那么希望做最好的菜，好好的照顾他。关心他，可是就像一般的母亲，大多数的母亲，在关心的当儿，其实不知道怎么样才是所谓的正确的关心，就是孩子会觉得说母亲给他压力，其实他没有啦，其实我觉得他就是尽他所能去保护孩子，希望孩子好，但是孩子通常都会误会的，因为爱而不懂得爱。比根本不爱更悲哀。
幻他是一个科幻的人物了，所以要演这个角色呢，除了说了解剧本之外，还是要靠一些想象。为什么他能活到这么久？他的目的就是要吸取那些年轻人的记忆。
So Huan is one of the major characters in the film where we really didn't know
who and what he was at first. It was a character that we had to develop on, like as the story and the scripts progressed. And eventually we got like a very interesting Karanguni type uncle, but the major pieces of his wardrobe were unusual, or they were very interesting, or at least eye-grabbing.
Magical realism is a genre that uses like the fantasy aspect to bring out, like for example, like social issues, which applies to our film, like bring out the pressure that Singaporean students feel from exams But I wanted to focus more on the drama aspect and I also feel like this film needed a lot of handheld camera to really show like the relationship between the audience and the character Jin Wei So like a lot of times when he's frustrated, I'll be handheld, and then also quite a lot of times when he's like in the fantasy world, is handheld also to either give like nostalgic feeling or to show the audience that something is going wrong. Then for lighting, I would say like the green lighting is actually inspired by the Adam, the NTU film, because I saw one screenshot. Then it's like that green fluorescent tube, like a practical in the foreground, then like a red fluorescent tube in the background. Then I thought like, oh, if this green color exists in real life, which like actually if you notice like a lot of old places, if their fluorescent tube is like old, then you have this green glow. Then I thought about it like, wow, actually this green quite nice. Then it actually like, for me it became like Huan's color because power, greed, and evil. Yeah, then from there like the film sort of gets greener as you go through each act.
I think the most memorable experience, like usually for me, is the one where I go through the hardest things. And for this shoot, I've done something that I never done before, which is 3 consecutive overnight shoots. And that was quite crazy. I'll be like quite energetic, like, oh, overnight shoot very fun until 2 a.m. Then after I reach like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., right, I start falling asleep on the chair. Then the director talking to me, sorry. It's a very interesting experience, filming overnight. Very fun also. And like you really feel that sense of accomplishment in the morning when it's 7 a.m. and you rap.
So on set, the most important people that you need to watch welfare for is your talent. And at that time, Ian had to be doing 3 overnight shoots back to back. And it was very tiring. I can see the tired eyes and all that. So for our talent, every single shot I have to make sure either myself or my PA, they just feed them water. Whether they need to pee a lot of times, just feed them water, because water is really a source of energy for them to keep on moving. To be honest, I really was like really thinking of what to get for the crew, because at overnight at 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, everyone's so sian, everyone's so tired. And I am the head of welfare, and to make sure everyone is still alive during that shoot, I need to make sure I get good food at least Okay. I mean, I hope pizzas are good for the team. I hope it's good for you guys. I mean, I got nothing but pizzas at that time when I was like eating pizzas for 2 overnight shoots. And I'm glad that Ian, our main cast, ate 10 slices of pizza. I was like, okay, important, feed your talent.
On set, I will watch the playbacks with the director and to comment on the shots and also how to improve on the shots. Because when you are watching the mon, right, when you go back home, you have a better idea of what videos you already have. So it makes the editing process less slow. I would say it paces up my process faster as an editor. Sometimes I will stitch the shots together for the director to see if like it kind of works or not. Like on set wrangling and immediately view the shots.
这给你的。
这是什么？
What's this? I want you to go well, so I got you this.
孔子啊，希望他能够在你的 level 助你一臂之力。
First of all, if you guys are wondering where did the Confucius statue situation come from,
Oh yeah.
we're just gonna get you to talk a little bit more.
Yeah,
about
so
it.
when everybody heard of the Confucius idea, they thought it was like out of the world. They're like, what kind of thing are you thinking in your head to come up with this Confucius idea? Until I say that, you know what, it's a true story. So my mom gave me but I wasn't like defensive as Jun Wei because I mean I thought that it was really funny. Then it was something very different that like honestly I've never heard anyone done this before to their kids. Then she gave it to me.
All she wanted her to do after getting this is to score well for her
Yes,
exams.
yes, yes. So
Yeah.
that inspired that part of the film. But because our main character Junwei, right, well, very passive aggressive and then very doubtful also. Then so he took it the wrong way. I'm not talking about you.
So when it came to building the shop in our Huan shop, there's actually one section which Eva mostly arranged.
We have wooden shelves, we have like more than 20 practical lights in the room and full of unique props.
Like I think all the pawn shop scenes are nice, like really just because they are lit by practicals. I mean, I have a good camera with very high dynamic range, so exposure isn't a problem. But I really like when I have a light that is just placed there, and when the talent walks around the space, like giving their performance, like the light interacts with them. I don't need to purposely light for them. The middle scene to me is my favorite because he's actually just lit by a single practical and the ambience of the room, and the placement of the practical was there since the start, but it's actually like the blocking and Chinwei's like performance that really made the lighting shine up.
From how the idea was created at first, I was like really looking forward to how the tree shop will look like. And honestly, like it's very surprising because it actually turned out differently from how I thought it would be, but in a good way because everybody has a different concept of the tree shop. So it was very exciting when I first saw the tree shop. I thought like, wow, everyone's gonna be so impressed by this. Then I'm very happy to be in the set, you know, and then I'm like a proud mom looking at the script coming alive.
The only reason why it's unique is because it consists of items that belongs to each and every one of the team members. It kind of fits the idea of the film as well, the whole idea of, trading in your precious item. So I'm happy that, the shop turned out so well.
All of the art department's hard work went into that. So like we spent 3 days just to build up what is on screen.
The thrift shop is like a baby for the whole art team. Everybody was so satisfied with the outcome of the thrift shop. So everything happened in the shop is memorable.
One of the most memorable experience on set was the day where it suddenly rained very heavily. It almost killed all of our tech equipments and things like that.
I witnessed all of us, from the producers, from the production team, from the technical team, we all come together to save the equipment. Almost all of us get drenched because of the rain, but then even like the rain won't stop us from carrying this shoot. Yeah, so it shows the passion that we have for filmmaking.
I've always imagined the memory extraction room to be a place that is very cold. And then the items that are used by Huan is definitely the items that he collects. So it looks like it's very homemade. It should look like it's different, but at the same time, it should have some elements from the main thrift shop itself. So that's why we have like those Chinese names on the VHS tapes and things like that.
It's just like the Huan's personality. He has a welcoming like look, but deepest part of his heart is evil. So to create the contrast, we have create the color of the Huan room into a colder tone, and more metallic stuff will be added in, more electronical stuff will be added in.
When Huan is like really, really evil, then I lead him the same way with a top-down light. Then he has like a kick from the side of like either tungsten or red. Yeah, then there was one shot which is very nice. It's like the low angle one. Wow, now very, very evil. I think like that's my favorite like shot of the entire film.
说实在的，这样的片呢，我还是第一次拍呀。我觉得那些假的科技的东西也蛮好玩的。
For me, like I got my own set of vintage lenses lah, which add a lot to the story. So like if you look carefully, every fantasy scene is shot on vintage lenses. So I think that really helped bring out the fantasy aspect, because these lenses are very, very different from the Canon CNE primes. Like they're very old and they're very like, they cause a lot of workflow problems. But at the end of the day, the look, the character, the bokeh, all you cannot find in the Canon CNEs.
I would say that the whole memory sequence is actually my favorite part of the film, because it shot it in a way that is very nostalgic and very close to home. And it's also a segment in the film where you truly see the tender side of both the characters, where you truly empathize with them.
我最喜欢的其实是最后一场戏，就是那个和解了之后在海边拍的那场戏。那场戏没有什么话的，就是默默 无语这样。可是那个尽在不言中，那个诗感非常的重，所以呢觉得很有意思。
Rough cut initially, my first cut was 42 minutes. We actually managed to like change up the scene a bit by taking off from the script. It's like by removing some parts from the script and stitching it back together. So it really involves a lot of creativity and like flexibility on doing like stuff like this. But the director is also beside me to advise me on how to rearrange the scenes. Even the lecturers also like advise me on that. So yeah, that one was, it was tiring lah to cut things down, but in the end we still made it. So I'm very like proud and very thankful about it.
很开心，因为跟你们这些年轻人在一起啊，你们都充满着活力，这个会感染到我这个老人家。导演都很细心的分析这个角色，还有这些工作人员都有耐心，对我也蛮尊重的，对年纪大的人都很尊重，我觉得这个是很难得的，这是我最感到欣慰的。
I'm very happy with the crew lah. Very thankful that despite all the long hours, tiring shoots, they were always there to like make sure that I was well taken care of.
其实我觉得这整个制作团队，觉得每个人都很有爱心呐、就是很有爱心的，就是要不要喝水啊？热不热啊？要不要纸巾啊？这种的，所以无微不至，你知道吗？对，所以我就觉得是很 nice， 他们真的是很有爱心的年轻人。那么看到他们团队非常的和谐，非常的团结，互相帮忙，这也是很感动的一件事情。他们的热忱也深深的感动了我。希望他们好好努力，为我们新加坡的电影圈就是能够增加更多的活力。
To look back on the whole process of like more than a year, I think the whole thing just like super memorable to me. It's a meaningful experience for everybody to grow, to learn.
It's just been a long journey for all of us to bond together, to understand each other's difficulties, whether it be personal or whether it be team related.
But now, after finishing the project and seeing it on a screen, I feel proud. I feel so proud of my art team, the group.
At the end of the day, we might not be the most bonded team, but at the same time, we still go through this FYP journey together, and I'm very happy to go through it with you all.
Don't know why, but this film was quite important to me. That's why I strive for a lot, like visually.
If I were to do it again, I guess I'll give it a shot again. It's fun, like FYP, really. Just enjoy the process.
I can see that all of them are very passionate in doing their tasks.
This friendship that is formed during this project and all these lessons that I've learned, it will basically stick with me for the rest of my life as well. I enjoy FYP. I'm very proud of this film, and I'm very thankful for everybody's hard work that's put into this one.
No matter what happened, honestly, no matter what challenges you face with every member of the team, it's an experience, and I love everyone. I like everyone. It's a good team. It's a great team, and it's a great film. Yeah, so watch it, everyone.
这群年轻人，让我很实际的感受到，要梦想是很重要。
Just don't miss the film. Just go watch it. That's all I can tell you.
All of you did very well for yesterday's spelling test. Especially Emily. She got full marks. Well done. 是 full marks。哇，你的 book 到底是 spelling book 还是 sticker book？ 哦吼 ，someone is late again.
Sorry, Miss Lim.
Go.
That's smelly. Wow.
Class, I hope all of you can learn from Emily. Especially Haziq. Haziq. This is already your third time getting a 0. Can you please stop laying eggs? You're not a chicken, you know. Shh. Don't laugh at your classmates. Wait, class, before y'all go, let me just announce the pairing for the project. Mei Ling, you'll be with Yixiang. Kelvin with Vanya. Ai Li with Zhiwen. Emily, you pair with Haziq.
Miss Lim, can I pair with Sarah instead?
No,
But Miss Lim.
unless you want this.
3.
0.
我曾经以为那是校园生活中最倒霉的一天，可谁又曾意料到那会是改变我人生的一天？当时的我心里只有一个念头：把他赶走。
把拉链拉开。你要做什么？噔噔噔噔噔噔噔噔。OK， 搞定 ，Let's go。噔噔噔噔。诶，他在我桌子做什么？我要上厕所。Oi, what are you doing?
I thought this was your egg.
It's not my egg, it's your egg.
Why would I have an egg?
Because it popped up your spelling test. You got 0.
Oh, I see. Thank you for your egg.
You. Welcome. If you're not happy with me, then just tell teacher. Tell her you want to change partner. I will understand.
All right, class, I want you all to take out your dictionaries and find out the meanings of these words. I expect all of you to have brought your dictionaries today because I reminded you yesterday.
怎么办？我忘了带，有没有 extra？ 没有嘞，我只有一个。还可以寄给我吗？等一下我会被老师 punish。
If you didn't bring your dictionary, stand up now before I find out. You forgot your dictionary? Sorry, Miss Lim. Well, look at Emily. You should always follow her example. She never forgets. Right, Emily?
Right.
Stand outside until my lesson ends and see me after school. Yes, Miss Lim. Okay. Come back to this. What's the definition of the word?
Bye, Emily， 我先走了。 I'll pair with you, but only for work.
Okay.
For this project, we must find a company where we can work for together one day and...
Oh, I already found a company.
You found a company?
My nenek runs a business.
Oh, what company?
It's called Hong Pan Yu Private Limited.
Really?
She's the CEO.
Really? Whatever. What's the address?
Oi! Hi, Emily, you're here.
You big liar!
What liar?
You say your nenek runs a business.
Yes, she sells fish.
How is all this Hong Pan Yu Private Limited?
Hong Pan Yu. This is my nenek. Nenek, this is my friend Emily.
Friend? What? No, we're just partners.
She is the CEO of Hong Pan Yu Private Limited. So I never lied.
You.
You're welcome. Auntie 啊，我會曉學拳，我哋安尼好事，阿先你哥哥就好。你拜過來。Manakam Ishagum.
Manakam.
Marum bade grupa min banggu kilgala.
Nagugudang mo. And it will fresh up ka.
Ama.
Oh, 很聪明啊。
没有啦，习惯了。来来来，卷又来，很新鲜。Ikan ini semua sangat segar. What?
I didn't know you could speak so many different languages. Which tuition center do you attend?
Which tuition? Oh, I've been helping my nenek since I was 5.
Then why do you always get 0 for your English spelling test?
Did you heard any of the aunties speaking English just now?
No. 竟然你那么 smart， 不然我们从现在就讲华语咯。
来啦，谁怕谁？那给你，开工吧。Gini apa lo?
Lipan ini gugur.
Hah? Modern Telebe Venezuela.
我们当时做了一笔交易，你教我 Tamil， 我教你 English。
Spell hippopotamus. H-I-P-P-O-P-E-P-O 是 hippopotamus， 不是 hippopotamus。
啊，对不起。T-A-M-U-S H-I-P-P-O-T-A-M-U-S
哎，拿来给我。OK， 我给你2块，你把那个给我。
不要，我不要。
你再拿给我。
马累，
这是什么意思啊
？Mountain 山。
这是 mountain 咩？
I think so. But I don't think 是 mountain 哎。哎，你去哪里 ？Far away. Far away. HAZIQ。哎，日期，今天是10月8号。yen Peru Haziq. Yen Peru Haziq. Emily. Oh, Yen Peru Emily.
Nambar kala iru kalam.
Nanbakala
Iru kalam.
Nanbakala iru kalam.
Yenike unai pirikum.
哈？
哎呀，just repeat.
哎呀，算了啦，不要学了。
哎。
加油 ，Emily！Come on， 不要停，继续跑，你可以的 ，Emily，加油加油，不要放弃 ，Go Emily Go！Go Emily Go！Emily！Oops！ 会动吗？哎，那，给你。Gummy bear？ 我的奶奶告诉我 ，Gummy bear 有神奇的 power。神奇的 power？ 什么 power？ 让所有痛苦消失的 power。Try。Okay, get up。我陪你训练，我们比赛跑，看谁最快？当然是我最快啊！是啊，是啊。OK， 我是1、2，嘿，你进 ，loser！
就这样 ，Gummy Bear 成为了我们之间友情的信物。
Your school ends so late today?
Oh, Haziq stayed back in school to practice running with me just now.
Oh, Haziq practice with you? Anyway, Haziq, tolong Nenek bawa ni pergi atas. I forgot to buy something. Emily can follow Nenek. Did Haziq told you about his illness?
He's sick?
That is why he cannot run too much, cannot do exercise too much. Do not let Haziq know. It's between us.
Okay, Nenek, I promise. Eh? 原来你躲在这里，为什么没有去训练？走，我陪你训练。不要。为什么？不想跑。你的不是 loser， 你是 winner。winner 不可以休息。不要。你的比赛要到了，不练习就来不及了。哎，你还好吗？不要笑我。我没事，只是说我没睡好。骗人！你的奶奶已经告诉我了。你看你的身体那么 weak， 还一直叫我跑。你说我是你的 best friend， 是要你这种一直骗人的 best friend。走开，我不要看到你了。 的 BFF Haziq 呢？你们不是每天都 glue 在一起的咩？他今天没来，你不懂啊？懂什么？他生病进了医院。我懂你为什么没有去看他。如果我是你的话，每天看见那个脏脏臭臭的他，都会嫌啦，对不对？你看今天他没来，班里的空气不知道有多 fresh。哎呀，他还是别回来上课最好。不准说我好朋友坏话。Nenek. Gummy bear？ 我的奶奶告诉我 ，Gummy bear 有神奇的power。起来 ！Only losers is on the ground.
Hey, உனக்கு என்ன வேணும்? Hey, உனக்கு என்ன வேணும்? சொல்லு, நான் உனக்கு உதவி செய்றேன். சொல்லு. உனக்கு என்ன வேணும்? நான் உதவி செய்றேன். என்ன வேணும்?
这个是 Kami Karate。Kami Karate。Kami Karate。Repeat， 最后一次。Kami Karate。Kami Karate。
啊？என்ன சொல்ற?
Kami Karate。
ஓ, கம்மி கரடி முட்டாய்.
Kami Karate 喂。
ஓ。
喂。
Okay， வா 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 வா. கம்மி கரடி முட்டாய்.
Doctor，
医生认为当时的哈景能存活下来，简直是个医学奇迹。对奶奶而言，是她祷告的力量唤醒了她的孙子。人的一生中会遇到很多朋友，我很庆幸在我最懵懂的年纪遇到了哈景。记得一开始我瞧不起他，甚至还欺负他，直到后来慢慢相处后，我才发现他那与众非凡的一面。虽然哈景最终还是离开了这个世界，但我们俩共享的时光已深深烙印在我逝去的童年中。他让我领悟到了许多课堂上所学不到的人生技能，他也教会了我，在梦想的道路上，哪怕铺满荆棘，也要不懈奋斗，直到尽头。那些曾共享过的欢笑与泪水，始终让我难以忘怀。而在我那逝去的童年里，过去美好的时光也在无形之中织就为色彩斑斓的回忆。
Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us for OH 2021. My name is Gail, and I'm from the Diploma in Digital Film and Television. And with me today is one of our seniors, Deborah Wong. So if you have any questions for her, please remember to write it in the comment section, and we'll try and address it in a bit. Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Gail.
Thank you for being with us today. I know you're really busy because you're actually in the midst of your final year project. Just about 2 months more, and I think you'll be graduating, hopefully. Okay, so maybe let's start off with us talking about FYP or your final year project, since you're in the midst of it. Tell us a little bit about the process, your journey through FYP, from the idea generation stage to the current production stage right now.
Okay, final year project, it all begins with an idea. So everyone in the cohort would have to pitch a story of their own. So I would say it'll take about 3 to 4 weeks about there for idea generation and then consultations. So once that's done, we will pitch to all the lecturers. You know, the lecturers would be the panel,
And then from there, we will choose 8 films to be, we will select 8 films to, for the final year project to commence. Yeah. And yeah, it's just how, so the pitching itself, we would have a module on its own, where we would learn how to pitch to a client. So it will all start from a story, and then you have your unique selling points, how it would benefit the audience, and what your sponsors can gain from your film as well. So a bit of marketing involved also. Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about the pitching process to clients? What was the experience like for you?
Okay, the pitching process, initially it was quite nerve-wracking because we would not know. It was actually our first time pitching. So my group, my final year project group being the one of the groups selected by Singapore Discovery Centre, we actually had a pretty large panel of, people watching our presentation. So the most common questions would be them asking how, the outreach of our film, how many people it would reach, and how it would benefit them as a sponsor. Also, Singapore Discovery Centre has its own values as an organization, so our story would have to appeal to them and their values. So a lot of these, appealing to sponsors and their values is a very important part of pitching. Yeah.
Okay, so I think for your cohort, it's quite a unique experience because you guys are doing production, your pitch videos and things like that in the midst of COVID. Can you tell us a little bit about that whole experience? How did you all go around all the challenges that you're all going to be facing?
Okay, there are still a lot of COVID restrictions. I remember the worst part of it was when circuit breaker hit. It was back in June, and June was the period when we actually was supposed to film our pitch video. We intended to shoot my team and I intended to shoot at a park, but then due to circuit breaker happening, shooting at a park was totally not allowed. So we had to find another way around it. In the end, we actually hired a storyboard artist, a professional one, to help us draw my director's vision on paper, or in fact, digitally, and then, convert it to a screen. Yeah.
Okay, so a bit of resilience is required, right, for all the changes that are happening. Okay, I wanted to talk about another aspect of your final year, which I think many viewers would be very interested in, and that's internship. Many students who come in want to know about the internship process, where do you go and what do you do? So tell us about your experience.
I was fortunate enough to have my internship at CNA, MediaCorp CNA. So a lot of it is, I was part of the CNA documentary team. A lot of it was very research and fact-based. So it being research and fact-oriented, we had to be very meticulous with what we were, the content that we were going to show. Yeah, a lot of it was also current affairs related. Yeah. The documentaries that I worked on were mostly had its element of COVID in it. Yeah. So one such documentary would be Becoming Human Again, starring Chua Eun Lai. The story is about him actually being on stay home notice, and then, so there was some skits involved. Yeah. It was quite a fun experience actually because of the production then. The COVID restrictions were still in place, 10 people per house. Yeah, I had to find a location, but the owner only said strictly 10 people in the house, and only the same 10 people can go into the house. Yeah. So it was quite a challenge to work around because 10 people actually on a set is really not a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so how was the internship process like? How did you get matched with the company? How do your classmates get matched with companies? Do you go find your own companies, or does the school give them to you?
The school gives us a long list of companies to choose from. So there would be the bigger ones such as MediaCorp, Ministry of Home Affairs, and government organizations, and then there would be some other production houses such as 1-22, Abundant Films, yeah. So we would have to send in our resumes and our portfolios, our show reels, and then from there we'll see if we would be able to get a response from the hiring committee.
Okay, so you spent 16 weeks, which is about 4 months, working in the industry, doing real life industry projects. What did you feel was your takeaway from it that you didn't really get to learn in school? Was it a different experience, or was it very similar?
Oh, definitely a very different one. Because in the industry itself, the pace is a lot faster than what we do in school. So from at one go, we would be handling, let's say, about 3 to 4 different projects, at the same time. So, but whereas in school, it's just, for example, currently I'm only doing one final year project and that's it. Yeah. But in the real world, it's back-to-back shoots for different shows. Yeah. So it is quite, back-to-back. Yeah. Can get.
So once you graduate, right, has the experience spurred you on to want to join the industry? What sort of career prospects will you be looking for once you graduate?
Okay. Career prospects. Okay. My specialization in school is pro direct. So it's gearing more towards the producing directing specialization. So after my internship, I actually can get into producing, be it documentary or drama film producing. Yeah.
And you would want to go into the area, or are you considering also studying? Because there are also quite a number of universities, right, that give us exemptions or give students like your exemptions.
I am thinking of going into university first and then stepping into the industry after getting the degree. So if I could continue in this industry after getting my degree, then yeah, definitely would. Yeah, I'm gearing more towards the news and current affairs umbrella. So
Okay, so having come to almost the end of your 3 years in the diploma, what sort of advice would you give secondary school students or IT students who want to come into this course? What sort of good advice would you give them?
okay, this course is very storytelling is very it emphasizes a lot on storytelling, and not just storytelling, but emotional storytelling and heartfelt storytelling. So a lot of the stories that we come up with, we have the goal of making it a tearjerker. Almost every film, we do aim for it to be a tearjerker. So our final year projects would, if it can be a tearjerker and evoke some tears from the audience, then that would be great for sure. And script writing is also a very important process that the lecturers like to emphasize on. So before we shoot our final year film, we have to go into a lot of writing and rewriting of the scripts. So we would have about 20 overdrafts of the script before we actually go and film shoot, go out to shoot. Yeah. So it is definitely a lot of pre-production work. Pre-production meaning the writing of the script and then looking for the locations so that we can film, getting permissions to film, a lot of the logistical aspects of it need to be settled and confirmed first before we can actually go full force into production. Yeah.
And what sort of character would you say would a DFT student need to survive the 3 years in there?
Okay, for a DFT student, okay, a DFT student definitely needs to be very open to change, because at any point of time, let's say a film rule could be changed, like for example, the COVID-19 film guidelines and rules, it was changed overnight, or at least it seemed that way, with how COVID was going, and we just had to be constantly ready to solve problems. Yeah, and I think stepping into DFT has helped me a lot in learning how to solve problems and being very mentally prepared to solve whatever that's being thrown at you. So to be mentally strong is a very, very important.
And would you say working with people is also quite an important attribute?
Definitely. Working with people, making a film is group work all around, teamwork. Yeah. In fact, in many offices or in many other industries, it's also very teamwork based. So people skills, social skills definitely need to be honed. And I think DFT has definitely honed my people skills. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe one or two more questions. What was your inspiration to want to join this course? What was your story, and how did you and DFT become, connected?
Okay. Since secondary school, I was very into English literature. So I was very I really liked the book The Outsiders. So then that book got adapted into a film. And then after that, the film just really got me going into watching more films, because the Outsiders, the film itself, has about, I think, 8 main characters or so. So I would actually search up what films these 8 characters did, and it really just branched out into there in all sorts of directions.
Okay, so maybe last question. So your idea of what DFT was like when you first stepped into the school, and now that you're going to be leaving the school, was it something that you feel that it was everything that you expected, or was it more?
Okay, DFT initially, before I joined, I always thought it was very creative. It was all about, creating your characters, creating the story, coming up with concepts and all of that. But really, there is a lot more technicality to it than creativity. Yeah, for sure, creativity is needed in, script writing as well. But the directing process and how you direct your actors, it is quite technical. So it really does bring a new perspective into how filmmaking is like. I think on the outside, a lot of people would think, oh, filmmaking is just, going to shoot, and then coming up with a simple story. But it takes a lot of thought and work into coming up with a story and your characters. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yesterday we had someone asked a question: Is filmmaking an art or a science? And I think the students yesterday answered that it's actually a bit of both. It's a combination of both. Yeah, and I think different students will excel in different areas of that filmmaking process. All right. Okay, so thank you very much, Deborah, and thank you, everyone. I think that's about all the time we have. We hope you've enjoyed the DFT showcase of films that we've shown you today, and we hope that come April 2021, we will see you here in DFT. Thank you very much. All the best to you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, welcome to DFT Open House 2020. I'm your host Celeste, and if you wish to craft powerful and emotional stories across multiple platforms, then this is the course for you. Let me guide you through what the digital film and television course is all about. So, in your first year, you have hands-on experience in camera, lighting, sound, and editing. You will learn basic creative storytelling and project pitching, where you learn how to find strong ideas and pitch them successfully to clients. At the end of your first year, you apply everything you've learned to make your very first 3-minute short film.
Don't follow me.
And this is done in a group, so you don't just learn how to make a film, but also how to work in a team, because teamwork is very important in filmmaking. In the first semester of your second year, you experience firsthand what goes on behind the scenes of studio production, where different skill sets, such as communication skills, are put to the test.
Let's go for take
10, 9, you'll get more in-depth learning in the following subjects, ranging from cinematography, audio post, screenwriting, writing for non-fiction, and directing. At the end of your second year, you'll have a chance to do 2 short films, an 8-minute fun genre film like comedy, horror, or thriller, and a 10-minute documentary. And finally, when you get to your year 3, you will go for a student internship program, where you'll intern at a production company of your choice and get the chance to see firsthand how the industry works. When you come back to school after 4 months of internship, you should be ready for your final stretch in DFT, doing your final year project, and making a film you can be proud to put on your portfolio. Our alumni have won reputable awards such as Cine 65, National Youth Film Awards, Crowbar Awards, and New York festivals. I know it might seem like a lot to process, but don't worry. In DFT, the lecturers are passionate mentors with many years of experience in the industry, and they'll be there with you throughout every step of the way in your learning journey. Besides, there's nothing more fun than learning with friends that share the same passion in storytelling and filmmaking. So if you wish to tell your stories on screen, bring your audiences on an emotional journey of laughter and tears, one award-winning film at a time. Then come join us at
Temasek Coordinating Digital Film and Television.